Hello.
Oh.
Welcome back.
Meme hype. What?
What?
We're all here. We're gathered to talk about Higurashi and how much we're enjoying ourselves.
Yes, we are now back in 1983.
Yay. The year that we care about. We're back, baby. Ready to learn all about Shion and whatever she's up to. I don't remember what happened last episode, except that Keiichi came back and he got a Sprite, which is fantastic.
Yes.
He's a good boy.
He's a mediocre Sprite, honestly. What is with that top?
Which one are you talking about? The vest?
Vest thing.
Dude, that is iconic. Hashtag iconic.
Is that like an
Keiichi
actual
iconic.
piece of Japanese fashion?
I don't know. It's a vest.
Off?
It's just a big red vest, and I love it. And I wish that when I had cosplayed Keiichi back in the day that I'd put in the effort to make that vest rather than just finding my old school uniform and throwing on a red shirt underneath.
Follow Madness's cosplay Instagram.
No one will find those images. They're on my phone, on my computer somewhere. Nobody will find them.
That's too bad. We're posting them on the
Oh
Instagram.
no! Well, that's awkward.
And that's the only thing we'll ever post on the
That's
Instagram
right.
from now.
Well, I'll find the image of me as Keiichi and this random cosplay person who was a Setiko, and I'll just throw that up there. It'll be great.
Sounds fine.
Did you ever cosplay?
No, I've never cosplayed.
You make a great Satoshi, I think.
The thing is for me with cosplay, right?
Dye your hair blonde.
You know how I'm a closet perfectionist,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
My problem with cosplay is that I like this. I'm like, this is a cosplay I would like to do, and then I start it, and I'm like, you know what? This isn't gonna look anything like I imagine it's gonna look.
No, it never will.
It's just.
Hold on, you started cosplays?
Yes.
You have like materials from like your old.
Oh
Gundam?
no, I've gotten rid of them.
Oh my god! Throw pictures up.
Why?
Find
it's like
pictures.
a piece of fabric. Here, here's a
there you go.
photo
Throw it
of
up.
cloth off Wikipedia.
Yeah, got
That's
him.
about how far I got.
Now just imagine Dracano and he's wrapped up in that fabric.
Hold on,
looking
we're in
all
the wrong
sussy.
studio. This isn't Dracano and Magic.
Oh, you're right. They're over in the radio station.
Yeah.
We don't go there today.
No.
I was going to say on Fridays, but it's not actually Friday. We're recording on a weird day of the week. Anyway, shall we continue?
No.
Okay.
My relatives gathered at the Sonozaki house after the festival to have a little party.
Yay.
Ugh. I mingled with my uncles and had fun. I don't believe you. I was trying to get rid of my eerie memories of the ritual storehouse.
Oh boy. This one there could be some heckin' music.
Well, it was playing the menu sound and I haven't hit the keyboard.
I know, so I hope it's fine.
Just really uncomfortable without music.
This is very strange.
It's like how it is to play D&D with you, Ben. You never use the music.
I don't like music. It throws me off completely. But that's hashtag me problems, I
That is
suppose.
definitely your problems.
Yeah.
Shion was acting as the successor, so I tried to stay away from her. I'm sure she would feel weird if I talked to her in a formal way.
Yes, it would. Do not talk formally. Talk casually.
Exactly.
You fool.
In consideration of the hag's old age, we ended the party at around 11 p.m.
That's still pretty late for an old lady.
There's the music. We'll help to clean up with the women washing the dishes in the kitchen, and the men folding the tables and putting them away in a storeroom. It only took about 30 minutes, then everyone left one after another. By then, Mion was no longer acting as the Sonozaki's successor and was back to being her normal self. Maybe I drank too much. I was lying on the tatami floor.
That doesn't sound good.
Kasai asked me if I could get in the car, so I told him I'd bath if I got in it now.
Get in the car, Shion.
Can I spend the night here? I just want to sleep.
Aw.
Granny will get mad if she finds you. By the way, don't you have school tomorrow, Shion? No, tomorrow's our school's anniversary, so there's no class.
That was an
How many times a year does your school have its anniversary? Oh, okay, Kasai-san, she can stay here tonight.
Understood. Good night.
Come on, Shion, wake up. Granny will get really mad if you fall asleep here. Here, hold on to me. You can sleep in my room. I was left alone all of a sudden, in this late night.
Oh no.
Oh no.
She's all alone with her thoughts.
My alter ego told me that I'm in a demon's... I read that as sandwich the
Read
first
quick,
time.
it's gonna go.
I wouldn't have woken up if I hadn't heard that voice. I might not have woken up at all. See, look at how much extra time we had to talk about
but I just
sandwiches. And now you've taken that away from
That's
us.
what I'm here for. I'm here to take away your sandwiches. I have a sandwich in my bag, actually. It's a delicious, delicious sandwich. I'm looking forward to eating it at some point.
It is currently 3 p.m. and I haven't eaten anything since about
Do you want my sandwich?
5 o'clock this morning.
I took your sandwich. Do you want mine?
No, it's fine.
It's like ham, cheese, tomato with a little drizzle of barbecue sauce. This is delicious.
It's alright, you can have that.
Alright, I'll have it later.
I didn't remember much after that. I was probably brought to Mion's room and immediately crawled into the futon. After a while, Mion got her futon ready next to me, turned the lights off and went to sleep. At least that's what I thought. What actually happened is I fucking murdered her.
Nah,
I got up and turned the lights on. Mion's futon was empty. The futon felt cold. Mion must have left it a while ago. Did she go to the bathroom? No, the closest bathroom was right there down the hallway. The light in the bathroom was off. Where did she go? The ticking of the clock was loud and annoying in the quiet.
Ooh.
I don't hear any clock.
I don't hear it either, but I'm sure it's there.
We just insert a clock sound effect straight out of the Human Echo library
Tick,
right now.
Tock, tick. Oh, that clock sound.
I don't know which clock sound. I'm just gonna find one in those folders.
Alrighty.
And someone's gonna be in the comments like, "Oh, Felix, this is a spoiler." It's like,
There's a spoiler, and you're ruining the ambience.
exactly.
And then we'll be like, nah, fuck you. There's clocks. There's clocks on Human Echo. Spoilers!
You're telling me that my wristwatch is a Human Echo spoiler?
Yes, it is. You have to cover that up. We're gonna get sent to prison. Spoiler prison for that. Watch out.
The hands pointed to a little before 3 a.m.
Oh dear, the witching hour.
That's not a clock either. I was left alone all of a sudden in this late night.
Oh no.
I felt the eeriness of the ritual storehouse coming back to me despite drinking it away with alcohol earlier. I tried to sense my surroundings. In this house, there shouldn't be an eerie atmosphere, strange noises, or footsteps. I stepped out into the freezing cold hallway to look for Mion. When I did, I immediately noticed light coming from one of the nearby rooms. That room belonged to the hag. The hag went to sleep early and woke up early. She was very strict about her bedtime, so it was strange to see her light on in the middle of the night. I could hear voices too. Those voices belonged to the hag and Mion. I crept up to the room and listened to their conversation. Since it was the middle of the night, I could hear their words very clearly.
I'm sure they'll indicate who's speaking.
I mean, this is pretty obvious.
It's gonna be my girl. That's not too bad. How do you know? Those young ones went too far.
400 points to us if that was Mion.
What? You know what, I'm okay with that. Here we go.
You're right. They made Oryou angry, so I guess they got what they deserved. Mion's voice sounded as cold as the one I'd heard down in the torch room. I held my breath.
The police say they are investigating, but are you sure?
I guess. It's probably Takano-san. My heart almost stopped. I thought that was actually cutting to a different image rather than just
just
the
swirling
negative.
it. Yeah, it's good.
Oryou got angry.
He does that sometimes.
The police are investigating.
They do that sometimes.
It's probably Takano-san.
No comment.
Oh, okay. I was really wondering
What?
what the comment would be.
She does it sometimes?
I mean, I guess.
We know that. We know that already.
And what day was it today?
Saturday.
Wait, no one said what day was it? What?
The day after the festival. I guess that's what she's thinking about. Because we had the festival, and it's time for people to be like, oh, who's getting Oryou today?
Oh, I see.
That's what's happening.
Follow the train of
yeah,
thought
you're with her
now.
now. She's like, oh, today's the festival day. This is when the curse happens.
This is the real reason you're here.
It's true. To remind you of what's happening in the story.
Exactly.
That is untrue. That is untrue. You know what's going on better than I do half the damn time. Let's be real.
Only half.
Half. Wow, I was trying to compliment you. You threw me under the bus. Throw me under the bus.
It's alright. I tell you a really dumb inside joke that I used to have with some friends.
Once again, always.
One time someone made the slip up of saying, instead of threw me under the bus, they said threw me under the police.
Okay.
And
so why is that? Okay, that's a meme.
And that was the whole joke.
That was a joke.
But it was just the brilliance of the stupidity of the person who first reacted to that.
Yeah.
It was just like, the police! That just made us all absolutely fucking love that joke. Even though it was the dumbest thing ever.
It's fantastic. I love it. I wish I'd been there.
For the record, I was not the one that reacted.
That's a shame. Well, I didn't know you back then, so I wouldn't know.
Well, maybe you did.
Oh, a whoop.
My teeth started to chatter. I desperately tried to stop them. Felt like my body was swelling up suddenly. I could no longer hear as well. Calm down. Lowercase breathe. Listen more carefully.
You're right. Why was it uppercase down and lowercase breathe? What happened there?
I have no clue. According to Mion and the hag's conversation, another incident definitely took place. The victims were Takano-san and Tomitaki-san.
Flash.
From what I could tell, both Mion and the hag thought it made sense that whatever it was happened to them.
Oh no.
No. I needed to think more calmly. They did say they deserved it for making Oyashiro-sama angry. Did they say Takano-san and Tomitaki-san made Oyashiro-sama angry? How did they make Oyashiro-sama angry? They knew. My body started to shake. They knew we snuck into the ritual storehouse. And would that mean Keiichi and I were also subject to Oyashiro-sama's curse? Come on, Shion, do the math. There's only 2 a year.
Yeah, you're fine.
If there's any more this year, it's your own damn fault.
Damn right.
Suddenly, a phone rang. The phone was by the front door. The front door was opposite the hag's room, farther down the hall. The ringing echoed throughout the long hallway. It sounded so eerie, almost like it was coming from hell. They sell phones from hell in Japan?
I was gonna say that. Like, why would you need a phone in hell? Would you just like open up a portal and be like, yo, what up? I'm a demon. Hello.
Well, maybe
why?
Maybe hell follows the same technology curve as the overworld, right?
That makes sense to me because
So,
it's made of like all of humanity's sins, right? Is that how that works?
So if humanity hasn't invented teleportation, it can't be a sin yet.
I see. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess they do have phones.
I guess
solved.
You can't make hell more convenient than the real modern world, because then it wouldn't be hell. It'd be kind of nice.
Unless your personal hell was the hatred of things that are convenient, in which case you would then have access to all of the technology that...
What if you hated teleportation?
It sounds like we're just slowly working ourselves towards the plot of Lucifer right now.
I haven't watched that show, so I'll have to believe you.
It's a rubbish show.
We should watch it together and record our reactions. Let's do it. That's where the big bucks are.
It's specifically my bonding time with my sister, and anything more or less than that will cease me from watching.
Fair enough. I'll go back to watching Rick and Morty.
Thank you. Also a garbage show.
Wow!
I felt someone behind me. Of course, there was nobody there when I turned around, but there was someone there a moment ago. I didn't know if it was Satoshi-kun. I didn't sense any emotion, so I couldn't tell. Also didn't know how long it had been there. It was as if that somebody was watching me listen in on their conversation. That was the feeling I got. It couldn't be Satoshi-kun. Satoshi-kun would never be that intimidating or scary.
He would never.
He never would.
He wouldn't know how to fly.
My mind turned all red like it was... suffused. I thought... Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought that was a misspelling of stuffed the first time I read it, and I didn't realize...
Stuffed with blood? Ooh,
yeah.
That is a gross, like, image, though.
Mine turned all red like it was suffused with blood.
Ugh.
Have you experienced anything like that? Those footsteps always... Oh, it's Rena.
Oh, it's Rena! Well, I better take this thing, because I'm not going to get to play it that much. Oh, God damn you. You're always letting us down, Felix, with you not knowing that it was Rena.
I gambled 400 points earlier,
come on
we have
now.
to give something in return.
You can't.
We've been over this.
But we didn't get those points.
Yeah, but I still didn't put anything on the table.
You're right. Really, you're the failure here. It's true. That's what I said. Have you ever experienced anything like that? Those footsteps always follow me. They even came to my bedside and looked down at me.
I do wonder how feet can do that.
They just did.
Are they
the
like...
feet have eyes. That sounds like a great name for a film.
They're like foot puppets. You know how you have hand puppets, but they're like foot puppets?
Yeah, you like lie down on the ground and you bend your legs so that your feet are just over the curve of the bed. And then you pull yourself forward like
put googly eyes on them.
Yeah, you put googly eyes on your toes.
Or you just have eyeballs as your toes, and then you're in a...
Dude, it's like Emily Eyefinger, except slightly more fucked up.
Emily Eyefinger?
Have you not read those books? Everybody go read Emily Eyefinger. It's about a girl who has an eye in her finger, and she can use it to like look around.
That was the
corners and
actual
stuff.
name of the series?
I'm sure it was.
I swear.
Oh my god, I have to look this up now. Hold on.
Don't worry, we have a computer.
No. Okay, fine, we'll use that. I'm gonna let my phone charge anyway. Emily Eyefinger.
Like...
I'm sure it was
I know
just
the
called
franchise
Emily...
you're talking about, but really?
Yeah, there it is.
The thing
Emily
is,
Eyefinger.
I knew the moment you said it what franchise you were talking about, but I thought that it was by a different name.
No, I remember reading
I thought that the Eyefinger was like the gimmick of the series by a different name.
I mean, I think it's alliteration. They can market that shit. Yeah, I remember that because her whole thing was that she would like, she tried to like wash her hands.
Yeah,
and
I remember.
I'm
I
getting
remember all
soap in my eyes. It was adorable.
I remember all that. I just didn't think it was the actual name of the series.
Good series. I think it's Australian. I'm gonna say it's Australian.
I think Duncan Ball's Australian. Yeah.
I hope so. Go experience Australian history, guys. Read Emily Eyefinger by Duncan Ball.
I remember what Ren Oryou had said on that rainy day.
Go read Emily Eyefinger.
Is that a pun about her name? Because it's actually Raina?
No.
Okay.
It's not true.
Okay, thank you.
You'll be okay if that's true. Oh, sure, I won't get mad at you.
If Oyashiro-sama wasn't angry, nobody would follow me. So what did this mean? Ever since we snuck into the shrine storage, something has been following me. What is it? Calm down. Calm down. That's right. Rena wasn't talking about me. She was talking about Satoshi-kun. That's what happened to Satoshi-kun.
Everything he's gone through is a sign of Oshiro-sama's curse.
That's right. That's why he encountered the curse of Oyashiro-sama.
You feel someone is watching from a distance, and it follows you.
A creepy feeling crawled up and spread across my back.
Then it watches from right behind you. After that, you start hearing an extra footstep.
See, I do like, even if this, like, I feel as though this originally was maybe a mistranslation of a Japanese version of, like, chill crept up my spine or whatever.
Maybe.
But I kind of like it almost as, like, a visual allusion to the tattoo and, like, that symbolism in the family.
Maybe, yeah.
I swallowed loudly.
Gulp.
Okay, now try do that without saying it. Thank you. It's almost as though Rena Ryugu was predicting what would happen to me. Had Rena been talking about Satoshi-kun back then, or had she actually been talking about me?
But you start hearing it even inside your house after a while.
Well, this isn't her house, so it's all good, we're safe.
Someone else's house, then.
Ah, shit!
Oshiro-sama keeps watching you even when you're sleeping in the dark. Right by your side, waiting silently.
Oyashiro-sama sounds really annoying.
Yeah.
I knew by now that there was no mistake, no matter how I looked at it. She'd been talking about me. Yes, me.
It's true.
It'd been about me. The curse of Oyashiro-sama. What is the curse of Oyashiro-sama?
It's all about you, Shion!
I do love that, like, this is what's made her realize what Rena was going on about, because, you know, obviously it's kind of, she was doing that thing where people are like, oh, something weird and creepy is going on. Well, it's obviously just a story about someone else, even though Rena was having that conversation like, yeah, you know the footsteps, they follow you too, right? Oh, the music stopped. I'm scared. That was when I actually felt something for real. It was...
That sounds like a JoJo line.
Someone grabbed my collar.
Oh no!
No voice came out. I wanted to scream, but all I could do was open and close my mouth as if something was stuck in my throat. It's been a while since we've seen this.
Yo, what up, girl? You goddamn eyes.
When was the last time we saw Mion with the eyes? It was like...
Oh, I don't know.
Fucking ages ago, right?
Too many years ago.
There have even been times when the story's been like, oh, Mion got the eyes, but then didn't show it.
Yeah, we're all about that Rena life. Let's be real here.
I feel like the ladder scene in episode 2 was the... arc 2, rather, was the last time.
I know it was the last time, but certainly the one that pops up in my head.
Yeah.
It was a big scene. Good fun scene. Ladders are fun.
Ladders are fun.
Ladders were fun.
We can't make that joke yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
We'll get there. It was Mion. She looked even colder than how she looked in the underground torture room. It only made sense that she'd come out into the hallway to answer the phone. You know, speaking of dumb episode titles, one of my pet peeves about editing this series is when I'm editing, like, and I put up a video and then I edit the next video and we say, oh, we should call the last video this, and I'm like, fuck, it's already uploaded.
It's too late. That's why we should take better notes. So
you're right. We should just take notes.
we should take notes. Really, what we need is a third person to just do all the notes for us.
Yeah, we do need a producer. Sign up to be our producer for the show.
Where's Sparky? Can Sparky take notes?
I mean, depends on how much detail you want.
Just like get a little like ink pad and he put his paw in it and he can just put on it and put like just cover the floor in bits of paper and it'll be like a painting, but it'll be dog prints.
It's gonna end up like
It'd be great.
really anticlimactic Arrival.
That's the one. Yeah. Sparky was the alien from Arrival. Fact.
I tried to come up with an excuse. However, the way Mion looked at me was so cold. Even if I really had run into her by accident, I could tell by the look in her eyes she wouldn't believe me. I felt cold sweat all over my body. I couldn't even move my fingers. Sorry. I apologized. I could have said something to get myself out of the situation, but the apology came out first. But Mion didn't appear to hear me. She walked to the front door, still holding my collar.
Uh-oh.
The phone was still ringing. A normal person doesn't usually let a phone ring so long at this time of night. The phone call itself didn't seem real to me. Is that a thing? Is it not a real phone call? It's a fake phone call.
Who knows? Let's see who's on the phone.
Mion picked up the phone. This is Mion. I see. I understand. Please take care of things at your end. Also, please make sure that nobody talks about this. Yes. Goodbye. Mion put down the phone after a short conversation.
Well, that was innocuous.
What did she mean, make sure nobody talks about this?
Woo?
Who called anyway?
Exclamation points.
Mion put her forehead to mine and spoke to me.
Oh.
Did you hear? Which conversation was she asking me about? She had to be talking about the one with the hack. If I said yes, what would happen to me? What kind of a fucking question is that?
Did you hear?
Did you
hear?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I love this voice. Keep going.
Mion pulled my collar, pressed her nose on mine, and continued to speak. It's what you heard. The curse of Oryou-sama fell upon Tomotaki-san and Takano-san. It's really unfortunate. It's like I was talking to myself in a mirror, but what I was saying in the mirror was ever so cold. Sis, what is the curse of Oryou-sama? For fuck's sake, Shion, just get your head out of your ass.
Nice.
Tomotaki-san killed himself by clawing out his throat. Takano-san was burned to death in an oil drum. Terrible, isn't it?
It's terrible.
It is.
You heard her. It's bad. Bad news bears.
Tomotaki-san clawed at his own throat until he died.
Apparently. That's what witnesses say.
Takano-san was burned to death in an oil drum?
Flash.
What?
You might say she was flash fried.
You know how I normally do the thing with the drums? I'm gonna do that but backwards because of how bad that was. So instead of it's gonna be more like.
It's like if you put the milk in before the cereal, you know? That's what a psychopath does.
Oh, okay. Are you calling me a psychopath?
Do you do that?
Occasionally.
Oh my god!
But purely
for the
sake of doing it.
No, that's psychopathy. The only time when that is acceptable is if you're doing Vitabrits or Wheat Bix or whatever.
Yep.
And you want to heat it up in the microwave, so you put the milk in and then you put in the Wheat Bix until it starts like soaking up the milk, and then you have a better gauge of how many you can put in before you like run out of milk to heat up in the microwave.
Sounds like you just need to get better at gauging how much milk Wheat Bix absorbs.
Because then you put in. That's the fun part. That's the fun part. Is that you make sure there's no milk. There's no milk left at the end. That's the fun part.
I feel like I could do that just by eye.
You're just better than me in every way, aren't you? This is better. You're just better than me.
Listen, I have like a good amount of time to make myself cereal at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I don't. So I'm rushing out the door.
I've got to make it into an art form. That's why sometimes, as part of the art form, I just switch it up and put the milk in first.
No, that's messed up. You're a psychopath. Psychopath.
I felt something furry crawl up my spine.
I feel that too. That's how I feel right now.
Do dragons have fur in this?
Dragons?
Yeah, because...
somewhat, yeah.
Okay.
Because they have, like, the manes and the, like, whisker things and all that stuff.
Is that further?
I don't know. I'm not an expert on dragons in Asia. In Japan. You know what I mean.
It's alright. We'll make it. We'll make it out of here together.
We won't. We're dead. This is where we die. Mion's gonna stab us in the damn face.
Really? You think Mion's gonna do the stabbing?
I think so. I have faith that Shion is a good girl and Mion is the evil one.
Nah, I reckon Shion's doing the stabbing.
That hag, she's got like an AK-47 or something. She's about to come down here and bust us out.
I also felt like my stomach was turning upside down. The hag with an AK-47. Now is that season 4 of the anime? Is that why we can't watch season 4 of the anime?
No, it's not. No.
If I didn't feel any strength, then
well, the hag does end up as Keiichi's boyfriend. Anyway, Let's continue
Spoilers.
on. Spoilers!
I didn't feel any strength in my legs. If Mion let go of my collar, I'd probably collapse on the spot. Why did they die that way? Don't you know, Shion?
Oh.
I'm asking you because I don't know. It's really just communication errors, just left, right, and center here.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
I don't know.
Communication.
Don't you see? There can be only one reason. Please don't talk as if I already know the answer. What do you mean? My heart was pounding. I felt that my next breath would be so bloody and hot that I'd choke on it. Don't you know?
Tell us!
It's because they made Oyashiro-sama angry.
Oh shit, you don't do that.
The first year was the manager of the dam construction site. The second year it was the traders to the village. The third year it was the pacifist. The fourth year it was the relatives of the traders. I'd always thought the victims were people who had something to do with the dam conflict. Since I didn't do anything against the village during the dam conflict, I assumed I was safe. I should have known. I should have known everything would be the curse of Oyashiro-sama. I knew Oyashiro-sama's anger was the curse of Oyashiro... Huh?
Just that's his anger was the curse.
I see.
Don't question
It's
it.
just a bit of a messy
is.
phrase.
Yeah, we're repeating the same name 1,000 times so that you get the point.
We get it.
It's Oyashiro-sama. They're coming for you.
Never heard Oyashiro-sama repeat himself.
Do you know Oyashiro-sama?
I can't say I do.
Yes,
Nor do I really want to after that string of sentences.
it's a fair point.
I knew Oyashiro-sama would get angry if I snuck into the ritual storehouse, but since I wasn't held responsible in any way for the dam conflict, I never thought I'd be a victim of the curse. Did I ever think there would be an incident in the 5th year? Did I ever think I'd be the victim of that 5th year incident? Tomitaki-san snuck into the storehouse and he clawed out at his own throat until he died.
Flash.
Thank you. Takano-san was burned to death in an oil drum. Must be a lie, it couldn't be true. Even if it was forbidden, it was just a space for storing some old torture implements. How could they be killed for just sneaking in there? Especially in such gruesome ways. But I thought about it again and realized that those people were absolutely capable of doing things like that. The main Sonozaki family was capable of it. The Sonozaki family had been pulling the strings behind the series of mysterious deaths. They could do it. The Sonozaki family even kidnapped the grandson of the Minister of Construction during the dam conflict. They could do it.
Not Jerry!
Now, I do wonder
Uh-oh.
the way that this is phrased.
Uh-oh.
Like, I'm trying to remember how much we discussed about whether or not I thought it was the Sonozaki family that captured Jerry.
I don't remember.
Like,
It's been years.
I think it was because they told us so many times that it was, but there's also like, hey, you know, the village couldn't do this, which I didn't really believe because, you know, clearly they have, you know, Yakuza ties, and that probably gives them more resources than a regular village.
Yeah.
But then, this line is saying to me that Shion both doesn't know that the Sonozaki family isn't behind the string of mysterious deaths, and maybe also then doesn't know that they were or were not behind the Minister of Construction's kidnapping, and they're trying to pair these two together to say that they're
Maybe.
like connected incidents in more ways than one.
Who knows?
I'm not sure if I'm expressing this quite clearly. The point is, I'm very suspicious, as always.
I get it. You're saying maybe it's the Sonozakis, they have figures and everything, but maybe there's someone else?
Exactly.
Maybe there's someone else?
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's Takano.
Oh no. Why would she kidnap the grandson of the Minister of Construction? And
Because
where'd
no
the
one
music go?
from the Sonozaki family has had dagger-wind hair.
Not yet.
Not yet. Only Rika and Takano.
It's true.
That's my two
Therefore,
suspects.
most suspicious characters in the story.
Yes.
Keiji explicitly has anti-dagger hair, so, you know,
Yes.
he's a pure boy.
The Sonozaki family made Sadashi couldn't disappear completely. They could do it. Flash.
Here we go.
Tomataki's here, I guess. He leaned against me before falling onto the cold hallway floor. Sounds like someone's done a stabbing! She collapsed rather violently.
Never know stabbing.
I usually didn't go to sleep with my stun gun.
Here we go.
Oh, I totally forgot
Yeah,
about the stun gun.
We did
from
have
Arc
that
2.
set up. Yeah. It's pretty
Oh,
good. Here we go. Shion's got a stun gun, ladies and gentlemen.
this is the second time the stun gun's appeared, and I've misattributed it.
That's alright.
Misattributed it.
Now we know that Shion has a stun gun, and
Again.
I'm sure that everyone will remember that.
Everyone will remember it.
Go look up some fan art of Shion, and you'll never forget it in your life.
I don't look at fan art. It's
Why not?
dangerous.
Is spoilers?
No,
I hear those are
just
dangerous.
in case they're of me and it's too saucy for my for my innocence.
Shout out to G-Chan. We'll have to put some of that in the recap, but holy crap,
I guess
she's
that
been
means
blowing
you're
me away.
editing the recap because
Oh, here we go. I'm okay with
it's probably
that.
already been in a recap by now.
Has it? We kind of. Once you put in...
Oh my god, we're not an arc ahead, are we? We're only like 10 videos ahead.
No,
Shit.
the next one is Meikashi recap.
We need to hurry the fuck up.
We do. We need to not slap around with the stun gun talk. We gotta read.
I guess we can't have fun anymore. We just gotta read.
We gotta go ham. Mid-episode ham. Let's go.
I had my stun gun on me. I finally understood. Didn't know who killed them exactly, whose idea it was or who ordered it. Didn't even know who was actually involved. But Mion and the hag knew everything. Satoshi-kun. Now I finally know. Now I know what I need to do. I will settle the score for you, Satoshi-kun. I will avenge you, Satoshi-kun. I won't be killed like you, Satoshi-kun. I walked into the hag's room. She was sitting up to take some medicine. Her back was turned to me. Mion and I are twins. If I acted like her, the hag wouldn't notice the difference. I didn't think she ever suspected me. I put my stun gun to her neck and pulled the trigger. I heard an indescribable electrical sound and the hag's lights went out. She fell in a twisted position. I didn't know how long it would take a person to regain their freedom of movement after getting knocked out with a stun gun, so I had to restrain them before they woke back up. I was unbelievably calm. I don't believe that.
She thinks she is.
Oh, I mean, she does in fact say unbelievably, so she is correct in that at least.
She doesn't believe it.
Also, do we think that that Oryou is still alive?
Who?
Oryou?
Oryou.
You think her...
Would her old body
her
handle
old
that?
heart-
I don't think so. We'll see. She's tough for a broad. Maybe she'll be fine.
Probably.
I think she's made it through this arc at least.
The key to the underground torture room was in the forbidden drawer that only the head of the family can access. Mion had told me about this once.
Excellent.
It sounds like my parents' chocolate stash they used to have,
Yeah.
which was called the secret stash
I
right up
see.
until it was demolished, but everyone still knew about it.
That's
And when
pretty
I
good.
say demolished, I do mean the correct sense of the word, not as in like ate quickly.
You mean like it was in the house when you knocked it down or something? What do you mean?
You know how I didn't have a floor for a while, Ben?
Oh yeah.
There was a kitchen.
That was sad.
Yeah.
No. Because the way you're talking about it, I thought it was like something nostalgic in the past, but I guess it is.
It was a matter of weeks ago.
Yeah, well, that's a bit sad. The time of recording.
I never, it's probably the same.
I was gonna say, when we release this video, you can look back on this memory and
I
go,
know.
oh, that was what I talked about the secret stash that was demolished.
Such a fun memory.
Did you rescue the chocolates though?
What? I
From the
cannot
stash.
disclose that information.
What? I'll be
tell you
back
when
in a
you're
second.
older.
I had to go find something.
I never looked for the drawer before, but I found it exactly where I thought it would be. The key was on a keychain with several of its sisters. Each key had a little plaque on it that said what it was used for. They were all in Mion's handwriting. She was an idiot for being so conscientious, but she'll help me out.
She was an idiot for organizing her things so
I
that she
know.
could understand them.
I put the keychain in my pocket and headed to the outdoor storeroom to find a cart. I found a large flashlight there as well. There was a strap on the flashlight so I could put it on my shoulder. That way I'd have both hands free to carry Mion and the hag. I loaded Mion and our grandmother onto the cart and carried them to the underground torture room. Have a cart just lying around
Yeah,
right
it's
size.
a corpse cart.
Yep.
Here we go.
I was prepared to use the stun gun again if they woke up while I was working, but it was more powerful than I imagined and the hag showed no signs of waking. This was the stun gun Kasai specially ordered for me when I told him I wanted a powerful one. I remembered him telling me it was an illegally modified stun gun and I should never use it just for fun. I used my flashlight to find the light switch. I found it easily and turned it on.
Well, murder isn't fun.
All the lights went on in the basement. Although there was now illumination, it was very dim. I moved quickly so as to finish what I needed to do before they woke up. I decided to put Mion in a cell beyond the torture room. The lights in the torture room were so bright that it was like daylight. There was a door there. I was fairly certain the cells were on the other side of that door. The proper key was here. The keys made a tinkling sound. I felt cold air coming in through the gap in the door. There must be a huge opening on the other side. I opened the door and I saw nothing but darkness. I felt along the wall to find a light switch. I turned the light switch on and the light bulbs lit up, revealing a huge rocky cave. It didn't look like a natural cave, it looked more like an air raid shelter. There were several hollow openings with bars across them. Those were the cells. I walked up to the closest cell and checked to see if it was strong enough to confine her. I pushed and pulled on the bars. I rammed against them with all my weight and decided they were perfectly sturdy. This was secure enough to be called a cell. I opened the lock and carried Mion in. I wasn't particularly strong, just average. I never thought I was strong enough to carry a whole person. But now I didn't need to pretend to be weak. I could easily lift and drag their bodies.
Gee, I want. This is so strange. Why is it not Mion who is throwing Shion in the cell? It's so strange.
Is it?
Yes.
It's almost like
Are you not,
I've been
are you not
saying
surprised?
the whole time.
No, you haven't. I haven't heard you say it once that Shion was a bad person who tased her grandmother.
I'm just so disappointed that I didn't ping on the fact that, like, the taser was, you know, going to be a relevant thing for the rest of the story.
I mean, it was only mentioned once, to be fair, but
like,
it
but
is a pretty big,
it's the kind of thing that's mentioned once, and it's obviously meant to be like, this was the tool.
Yeah, this is the murder weapon, quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, like, to some extent it doesn't really matter, because if you can just say, like, oh, she, you know, just beat them this way or beat them that way, but it was obviously put there for a reason, and I just totally skimmed over it to the point I forgot it until now.
You can just edit yourself saying, there's a stun gun in the scene, and it'll be fine.
And I'm just going to edit you saying that there now, and pretend it was me.
There's a stun gun! There you go, take that one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alright, now compliment me for figuring it out.
You did it! You saved everything!
Thank you.
You figured it out. now just make sure to read all the way back to this episode so you can put it in the previous one. Call back!
Woo! I put Mion in the cell. She seemed to moan a little. I didn't need to check to make sure. The effect of my stun gun was wearing off.
Oh no!
I closed the bars and turned the key in the lock. Then I ran to the hag, who must have been starting to wake up too. Is this where we find out she's dead? Fortunately, there was no sign of her regaining consciousness.
There was so sign.
Maybe the difference in age had something to do with it. I looked for a table to restrain her on. I found a wheelchair with the restraints for the hands and feet. I put the hag in it. Of course, she didn't resist, but her dead weight made it seem like she was a huge French doll. But one made of flesh.
That's a word.
That's good. We've now learned that the French don't make dolls out of flesh.
They don't?
No, I thought they did, but now we know for sure they don't.
Well, it's a good thing Shion knows. She's been to France, you know.
Yes. I put her hands on the armrests and restrained them at the wrists with the metal rings and hinges. I did the same with her feet. This must have been a wheelchair specially remodeled to restrain a person. Other than the restraints, it was a regular wheelchair. I waited for the hag to wake up. I had so many things I wanted to ask her. I didn't think she'd answer honestly, but I had plenty of tools to make her talk. I was in no rush. When the hag had a concern, relatives took care of the problem. That was how it worked in the Sonozaki family. She was the leader of the family, so all the information they gathered would make its way back to her. She must know everything that happened in Hinamizawa, including the curse of Oyashiro-sama. I heard a noise from the cell. Mion must have woken up before the hag did. Speaking of the hag, she didn't seem like she was about to wake up anytime soon, but she was restrained even if she did, so I had no need to fear. I left the hag there and headed for the cell. Shion, what do you think you're doing? She talked like the successor, but she also sounded frightened. She obviously understood the situation she was in right now. Good morning, Mion. You never thought you'd be in there, huh? As the acting head, I order you open this up. You don't sound so scary in there. You need to talk more like a leader, don't you think? Though, talking that way will only make you look like a fool. There was nothing funny about it, but I wanted to intimidate Mion. My laughter echoed throughout the cave. It was artificial and meaningless laughter. I heard it over and over as it echoed. It sounded as if I wasn't the only one laughing. I couldn't stand it, so I stopped. Silence filled the air. That silence almost hurt my ears, so I started to speak. I never thought Tomitaki-san and Takano-san would be the victims. What an idea to burn Takano-san to death, but actually, she would be the kind of person who'd prefer to die that way. See? I told you she set it up. It's all a stitch-up.
She's so dead. She killed herself.
Maybe she's satisfied, huh? Mion didn't say anything. She just stared at me to see how I'd proceed. What about the way Tomitaki-san died? He clawed out his own throat, right? Did you give him a shot of some kind? Or is there a torture device that did that to him? Mion didn't reply. I was smiling boldly, but I became impatient and finally kicked the bars. It made a violent noise. Mion jumped as if she was kicked directly. It's boring not to get any answers. Do you have any idea what will happen if I get angry? How would I know? Mion finally replied. She was odious, but at the same time sounded pitiful. Hey Mion, as the successor, why don't you tell me? Let's see. I had just too many things I wanted to ask her. I wanted to ask her about me, about the incident, about the curse, about Sadashikun. I didn't even know where to start. Before I asked her about those, I asked her one thing. You know there's no point in trying to resist, don't you? Mion glared at me silently. Because we were twins, I knew that was just a bluff. We've come this far, so there's no point in me hesitating anymore. You shouldn't expect hesitation or even mercy from me, sis. Mion must have been feeling the cold sweat on her face. Although the light was dim, I could tell she was frightened. Okay, here I go. First, about the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa, also known as the Curse of Oryou. What's the meaning of it? Is it to signify the end of the dam conflict? I think so. Mion sounded a little confused, but she answered. I felt satisfaction now we were communicating. I continued with a smile. You think, huh? Don't you know the details? You know yourself that the successor is simply a messenger for Granny. Yeah, right. But the successor must know everything the current head is thinking, right? Do you really think I believe you're just a messenger? Although I'm always around Granny, I don't always know what she's thinking. It's not like I can understand her all the time. Okay, so you're saying that everything about the curse of Oryou is decided by the hag herself, right? I'd assume she'd talk to the successor about it. When it's something dangerous, Granny decides it on her own. I don't have anything to do with it. But even if she decides by herself, the hag uses you to take care of various things, doesn't she? And you're telling me you don't know anything? No, she doesn't use me for that. I really don't understand it myself, but it's like I take care of problems on the surface and someone else takes care of problems on the underside. Who? Who's the one that takes care of these underside problems? I don't know. Haven't you seen anyone? Haven't you overheard a phone conversation? Must be someone who gets in touch with the hag at the same time every year, around the time the curse happens. I don't know. I really don't. Mion shook her head. Okay. Let me change the question. Why were Tomotaki-san and Takano-san chosen as victims, even though they had nothing to do with the dam conflict? Was it because they snuck into the ritual storehouse? As soon as Mion heard the words ritual storehouse, her expression shifted. The ritual storehouse? Did they intrude on the storehouse at the Furude Shrine? Didn't you know? I thought you already knew. If they really did that, then it was truly stupid of them. Of course something would happen to them. Mion muttered bitterly while shaking her head repeatedly. Mion's reactions made me realize the true meaning of the forbidden storehouse for ritual implements. The ritual storehouse is a sacred building, so nobody can go inside. The curse will fall upon any who disobey. Any child would know that rule. However, just because they knew about it didn't mean they all believed in it. Although they were told they would be cursed, most of the kids actually enjoyed hearing the stories. They simply didn't believe it was true. However, Mion's reaction told me it absolutely was. If they actually did that, of course something would happen to them. She was saying that if someone snuck into the ritual storehouse, that person should be killed. Or their parents killed, if we take a flashback to Sadako getting stuck inside there.
That did happen that one time.
Or maybe it was her brother also.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe it was everyone.
Maybe it was everyone. Maybe this is all Sadako's fault.
Maybe it's Tepe's fault.
I'd believe that more than the previous statement.
No comment.
What you know and what I know aren't matching up anymore. Of course I'm aware I shouldn't just waltz into the storehouse, but to be killed in such a gruesome way for doing it. I never knew that. Did you? That's just because you're ignorant about it, Shion. Well, sorry for being ignorant. Could you please explain it to me? Just like you said, the kids don't really believe in the curse. They just assume it's superstition, but they also know that if an adult found out, they'd be in big trouble. But to the elderly people of Hinamizawa, it's something more serious. Mion explained to me how the elderly people blindly believe in Oyashiro-sama and how sacred the festivals are to them. It's probably something the younger generations would never understand, but they're possessed by a very strong, deep-rooted devotion towards Oyashiro-sama. Mion then went on to tell me about how sinful it was to violate the rule of the ritual storehouse. I just couldn't believe things like that were still going on even in the modern day. I couldn't even reply appropriately. But even if it was unbelievable, I couldn't ignore what I was hearing from my twin sister. I see. But Mion, doesn't the rule say that one victim gets killed by the curse and another has to become a sacrifice? The body of the sacrifice is never to be found, but there are 2 dead bodies this time. What do you think of that? Mion doesn't know that besides Takano-san and Tomitaki-san, Keiichi and I also snuck into the ritual storehouse, so I tried to lead her a little. I know, that doesn't make sense. Maybe Takano's burned body wasn't supposed to be found. Maybe the intention was for her to vanish. Or, I'm not too sure, but... What? Just say what you're thinking, I won't get mad.
Oh, she's gonna get mad.
Mion hesitated a little first, and then started to speak. Actually, 4 people snuck into the shrine storage, so maybe... Maybe what? Maybe the other 2 will become the sacrifices and get demoned away.
Oh,
And scene.
that's a line to end on. Those other 2, whoever they are.
That was the most liney line we've ended on in a
There
while.
you go. Well, that was a fun chapter.
So, Mion knew that people had snuck in, but not that it was Tomitaki and Takano.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
Unless she's lying. Like a lying liar.
Like a lying
Lying to her
liar.
sister. Who would do that? I wouldn't.
Wouldn't you?
I would. I lie.
Okay.
I definitely lie to my sister. Anyway.
How dare you? What if she watches the show?
She doesn't. There's no way she would. She doesn't like this weep shit. What? She doesn't. She's like, Ghibli's alright. And then that's it. I couldn't get her to watch anything else.
Wow.
So, she's too much of a normie, TBH.
Can't go throwing around words like that on this show.
On the internet, I'll throw whatever words I want. Normie.
Next thing you know, 4chan's gonna discover us and complain about us.
Anons. Look at all you Anons in the audience.
I can't look up what people are complaining about on 4chan about us anymore because 4chan's blocked in Australia.
Well, I suppose I won't go to 4chan then.
Indeed, you will not. Next time.
Next time.